Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're doing a recap of Sistas Season 3, Episode 4, Just Talk. The recap. So before we jump into this, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. Also, if you like the video, smash that like button. And then also feel free to drop a comment down in the comments section below. So without further ado, let's jump into this drama. So, as we left off on episode 3, we saw that Gary had set this up as not only a wedding proposal, but he wanted to get married to Andi on the spot. They made it look like a photo shoot, as you remember, and of course the girls were supposed to get paid to be dressed up, to be bridesmaids in this photo shoot, when they realized that Gary was actually putting this whole thing together to be a actual wedding. And the girls wasn't having it. Danny was having a conniption. The thing is, though, Andi was considering it. And she was smiling. She was happy. But Karen was like, I know you're not doing this. No. And she was sitting up there trying to think about this thing. But the girls, even though the ones on the other side, Fatima and Sabrina, wasn't saying much, I guess Danny and Karen was saying enough for the both of them. But it seems as if Gary was being real pushy about her making a decision in that moment. And even Aaron was there for support. He knew all about this, which didn't sit too well with Karen either. And, the thing is, they wanted to talk to her, have a conversation with her to see if they can change her mind. And actually, he was able to kind of let go and give some time for Andi to talk. So the girls get back there just to have a talk. And Danny, at first she came on pretty strong, but Karen really put the brakes on this thing. And she wasn't hearing it. She wasn't having it. She sounded like she was trying to be her mama. But the thing is, kind of like what Danny said, Andi's a grown woman. And as much as we might not want her to do this, it's up to her. And Karen just wasn't hearing it. At this point, we saw Andi kind of digging in her heels, because now she's like, you can't tell me what to do. I love this man. I want to be with this man. But Karen was just not hearing it. She was yelling at the girls too. How y'all gonna let her do this? Oh, I'm wrong for trying to stop her. Here's the thing. I get the intent, Karen. But the thing is that the more you push, she's going to pull away from you, because she's trying to make a point for herself. Now, the thing is about a situation like this, and a lot of us probably maybe had friends in this situation, the decision is theirs. As much as you hate it, you don't want this girl to be with this person, whatever the situation is, to try to force your beliefs on to somebody else who don't really want to hear it, all it's going to do is cause an argument. And it did. And Karen was she was so upset. She couldn't understand why, Andi did not want to listen to her. And actually, she said that everything about what was planned was her idea, from the type of dresses, how the proposal was going to go. And she thought it was actually sweet the way Gary did it, because he listened to everything that she said. Now, the thing is that she asked Karen to be there as her support system. Karen wasn't hearing it. Karen was like, no, I'm not going to support this. And guys, let me know what you think about this, because even though Karen did not like this idea of what Gary did and thought it was crazy, and, she tried to get Andi to remember all of the history that came with Gary, was it a good idea for her to just walk away and leave her friend there, or should she have supported her? Now, I've seen some of the comments on social media about, this particular episode. Some, it was split down the middle. Some said, hey, I will support my friend's decision no matter what. And others was like, hey, I'm going to have to show some tough love. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole with you with your bad decision making. So it depends on what side you on. My thing is you got to let people be grown people. I don't stay mad at grown folks. People going to do what they're going to do at the end. If she arrives and come to the decision on what's best for her or what's not best for her, it's Andi's decision. But yeah, she wasn't going to stand there and let this happen. She was so pissed off. And I mean, it's so unfortunate because it's kind of like a manipulative trick. You lose my friendship if you stick with your decision. That's not really fair, I guess. That's how I see it. I don't know what you guys think, but in order to punish somebody for not going along with what you want them to do, I don't think is a fair decision. And Danny was like, you know what? Hey, I really don't want you to do this, but you're grown. You have to make a decision for yourself, and whatever that decision is, I will support you. And she kept on. She was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. She putting on her makeup, getting ready. And while all that was going on, Karen decides she wants to go outside and talk crazy to Gary. If you hurt my friend, I'm going to come after you. And I'm like, with what? What you going to do? Your whole love life is in shambles right now yourself, Karen. So, for you to be trying to be the moral voice to Gary when you ain't got your ish together, I mean, seriously. And then Aaron tried to say something to him, and then you mad at him for what? What you mad at Aaron for? He ain't do nothing to you. You the one that cheated on him. You in a whole relationship with Aaron, but then you gonna try to tell these two guys what they should and should not be doing. Yeah, that's a good look, Karen. But that's Karen. Karen sits on that high horse trying to tell everybody else what to do. But at the same time, her whole situation is jacked up, And my thing is, I get it, you mad at him, but that's your friend in there. Who are you mad at? Now, she put it out there, but it is what it is. So Fatima is like, I need to take a breath, from all of this. Then here come Hurricane Karen again. She causing issues with Fatima. Fatima trying to play it cool. Look, I didn't know your ex was Zach. And she got an attitude with her as if Fatima and Zach was cheating on her. You was in a whole nother relationship with Aaron. Why do you think that he was supposed to be pining after you, and when he decides to move on and you find out it's Fatima, you got issues with it? That's crazy to me. She want people to move and act how she want them to, and then dictate who they are and define who they are. Sorry. And then for her to say, I'm not standing there, I'm finna go home, I ain't finna support this decision. That didn't sit well with Fatima, and I don't blame her because, hey, Fatima is Andi's ride or die. Outside of those other three girls, Fatima is actually a really good friend, to Andi, because everybody remember what happened in the garage scene. She was about to pull one, but she didn't care about that. She was like, I'm not going to leave my friend by herself, and I don't blame her. Like, girl, please, baby, bye. You can go on by yourself. I'm going to go in there and support her. In the meantime, of course, Gary is, wondering what the heck is going on and what's taking so long. And of course, Aaron is like, you know what? Hey, you know how women are. They talk. But just to let you know, I kind of want to tell you, I've been seeing Karen for a little while. And you could tell by the look on his face, he thought that Aaron was...
Oh, you crazy.
And I mean, honestly, Aaron did say in a few episodes ago that Karen does make him crazy. But, I mean, this whole mess, you go cheat on him, but you mad at him. And you need space from him because you trying to get Zach back because now he with somebody else. Okay, we'll get back to that part later. But, Aaron is like, yeah, we're off and on again, And I know Gary is looking at him like, okay, well, good luck with that. But, he took it in stride. I mean, he really likes Karen for whatever reason, just as much as Fatima, like Zach, for whatever her reasons are. We know that. Of course, Fatima is in a denial at this moment. But, it's just interesting how Aaron is, trying to keep the status quo. I honestly think this break is great from Karen because Karen don't know what she wants. Because when Zach was single by himself and just working at the airport, and as she figured ain't going to, end up nowhere, the moment she found out that he has a new love interest and everything, it's a different story. And now she want to get mad and try to get him back. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. So now let's go back to Andi. Everybody's getting her all spruced up because she decided that she wants to do this at this moment. But there's some hesitation because, of course, I don't know if she's thinking about the history or if she's thinking about Karen or whatever the situation is. But the look in her face is like, what the heck what am I doing? But then she turned around and she was like, yes, I want to do this. I'm excited. Let's do this. And I'm like, this girl is going back and forth. If you're not 100% sure about something, you need to take a step back and analyze it and think about it. In this case, she's just hot and cold. One moment, yes. Next moment, no. And as she got up to walk out there and talk to Gary and meet up with him to do this wedding, she yelled out, I don't want to do this. And I don't blame her. At this point, you don't know. He got this kid that you never seen. You had a gun pointed in your face that you thought had bullets in it. And it's just too much. You need to reevaluate that. All right, so let's talk about Zach. Zach decides that, of course, he has no place to go, but he goes over to Danny's house. Danny's not there, of course, because she's with the girls. However, Preston is there, and Preston is, trying to figure out what's going on. And for some reason, he's trying to make it seem like that him and Karen is destined to be together because they go back and forth. And I know the one thing he was saying is that he sounds just like Danny. And Zach wasn't here, and he was like, no, it's over, it's done, it's a wrap. Let me know what you guys think. Now, I've seen the previews for next week and the upcoming weeks, and it's pretty interesting where he wants to go, but I want to know what you think. So now Karen ends up alone back at her salon thinking that it was empty. And she's hearing these noises in the same room that her and Zach was getting their freak on in. And man, when she opened that door and she saw Pam up in there with some dude and they up in there getting their freak on, it shocked the heck out of both of them. I mean, seriously, they were definitely getting it in. And Pam looked like she wasn't ashamed. She looking like, close the door so I can finish. I would say that was the most hilarious scene that night. But, of course, Karen is waiting patiently for her to come up out of there. And she finally does. The dude walked out the door. And I mean, she's sitting up there like, basically, hey, if you can do it in the back room, so can I. Excuse me, Pam, but this is Karen's shop. She's the owner. And it was so funny. She was like, at least did you clean yourself up afterward? And she was like, psh, I'm fine. I'm clean. It was crazy. I'm like, okay, Pam is the funniest thing ever. Not only is she nosy, she's a busybody, but she thinks that she can do whatever the bosses do. But anywho, Pam got her freak on, pretty much told Karen a little bit about herself in the process. And she went home. She was fine, which, of course, left Miss Little Lonely Karen by herself. Now, the crazy thing is, of course, after Pam left, was she thinking about Zach all of a sudden because of what happened in that room? I wonder, did that trigger her thoughts? So she decided to pick up the phone and call Zach. Now, she is blocked. So she decided to call from the office phone. And Zach is like, nope, I'm not answering that phone. Nope, I'm not going to pick it up because he already probably knew who it was. Preston is sitting up there like, man, your phone is blowing up. You need to answer that. I don't know who's trying to call you, but somebody's trying to get in touch with you. And of course, he answered the phone, and it was Karen. And she's like, I just want to talk. Can we just talk?
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
And he was like, what do we got to talk about? I mean, seriously, I don't want to talk to you right now. And Preston, of course, is over there being nosy. It was so funny. But she was like, please, can you just, I'm at the salon. Just come over. It's just a moment. Can we please talk? And he agreed to it. He finally agreed to it. And, of course, he got off the phone. If I was him, I'd be like, nah. Because, I mean, if he feeling some kind of way about Fatima still, you don't want to have nothing to do with Miss Emasculating Karen. Because, I mean, what for? She only wants you because somebody else wants you. And that's the crazy thing. As long as he was by himself, ain't doing nothing, fine. You left him where it's at. And Aaron was always thrown up in his face. The moment he moves on with somebody else, he's making a come up, starting this business stuff, making money, got this vehicle. Now, all of a sudden, you want to be bothered with him. Yeah, I would have definitely... Zach need to move on. The other funniest thing on this episode was with Maurice and that guy who took Calvin's checks. He thought he was going to get away with it until, of course, Maurice punched him and knocked him out.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Yes, he did. And that's what he get. But the funniest thing was him being dragged out of the club, and everybody's looking like, what the heck is going on? He was like, no, nothing here. Just another drunk man. Don't worry about him. They was looking at him like he was crazy. That was so funny. I mean, and even as much as he tried to seduce him, Maurice wasn't having it. So that's the end of this recap. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode.